a group of medications that are very difficult in people 65 and older, just because of the nature of metabolism and age and this toxicity of the drug or whatever. They put together a list of medications that you need to be aware of in terms of just being a little extra cautious. I am not saying that these drugs are bad at all. Some of them are fantastic drugs and they work really well, and if you're on them, you don't want to stop. But they are medications that have proven to be a little bit more troublesome in the elderly, and so we need to watch for them very carefully. The first one in the group is what we call non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. These are drugs that you use for arthritis. The most common one for you guys would be Motrin or any of those. Things that kill inflammation from arthritis. The problem is certain ones like Indocin and Feldine and a couple of others, the ones that we call long-acting, they can get into your system and really go after your stomach, cause GI bleeding, cause indigestion, all these things. So the safer alternative, of course, is the one that I mentioned, Motrin, because it's a short-acting type, and so it tends to be a lot safer. Advil, you've heard of, I'm sure. So that there's certain ones that are safe and certain ones that are a little less safe. So we have to be careful to make sure that you stay on the short-acting ones. There's another thing that you can do with these medications. Doctors can give you things to protect your stomach. In fact, the drug Prilosec you may have heard of is available over the counter now. When they give somebody Prilosec that's on a Motrin, say for arthritis, it brings the toxicity level of that dosage almost back down to zero, because the Prilosec will help protect your stomach from the bad effects of this harsh medication that you're swallowing. So that's something the doctor can do to kind of mitigate this drug attacking your stomach. The next one on the list is a very common drug. It's called Digoxin, and a lot of people use it. And the caution is to have the dosage be 0.125. They make two doses. The 0.125 is yellow. There's a 0.25 which is white. And in elderly folks, the higher strength one tends to lead to toxicity more easily than the lower one. Again, if you're taking the white one, don't panic. Don't call your doctor and say, oh my gosh, my pharmacist said I have to stop taking this. No, just want to make sure that they're monitoring you for that and that you don't have a toxic level, because the lower dose one is preferred over the higher dose one. There's certain diabetic drugs, namely diabeta and micronase. Frankly, it's because they do too good of a job of lowering your blood sugar. I remember back a few decades ago where that's all we had. These were the best drugs we had, and everybody was on them. And now there's newer drugs that work much better, and they've determined that these aren't quite as safe because they actually lower your blood sugar too much. And then you're prone to lightheadedness and hypoglycemia and all that. So there's that. Muscle relaxants. Muscle relaxants tend to make us groggy and not so steady. They cause dry mouth. They give you a hard time urinating. Be things like Flexeril, Soma, Robaxin. And part of the reason that they got on this Beers list to be careful of is there's not a lot of evidence that they work that well to begin with. So why make folks groggy and fall down if you don't really expect the medication to work all that well anyway? So the whole muscle relaxant family is on this list to be careful. Other anti-anxiety and drugs for insomnia are on the list. We all have heard of Valium. There's Xanax. There's Ambien for sleep. Again, if you're on it, doesn't mean to stop or that it's a bad thing. It's just a matter of making sure, because these things metabolize out of your body very, very slowly, and they can accumulate and make you drowsy, again, prone to falls and whatnot. So as long as they're being monitored correctly, they're perfectly fine. It's not a taboo list. It's just a be careful list. that we're talking about. There's certain things they're called anticholinergics. It just means that it affects your nervous system. It kind of slows your nervous system down. Things like antidepressants, Elavil, things for Parkinson's like Artane, things for irritable bowel like Bentyl, overactive bladder like Ditropan. All those things can slow you down a lot, cause mental confusion, constipations, problems urinating. So again, they're just things to be aware of and ask your doctor about.